I don't think there is anyone more fake and contrived than Meghan Markle. Even the Kardashians are more authentic than she is. She goes up and gives a speech in front of the Invictus crowd talking about herself. It's so scripted, it's so contrived. Like you can feel the narrative spinning as she talks about the mornings at their home. Of course, she fails to probably mention at least the one or two nannies that she has around the house. It's just her and Harry trying to get the kids off to school. I don't believe a word of it. And as this week is going to go on, it'll be interesting to see how it plays out because we already see a bit in the Invictus opening ceremonies that Meghan is starting to get what I would call it more manic. As things get worse for her PR wise, she starts grins harder. She's trying so hard to make it work. And it's just simply not working because the whole fundamental problem with Meghan Markle and her public image is that it's fake. We know it's fake. We can feel the scriptedness of what she's attempting to say, what she's trying to spin to show us how wonderful and amazing she is. I haven't fallen for it and well, really ever, but a lot of people are really catching on to this. And I think if she wants to survive with her public image intact, you could say she really needs to pivot, but I don't think she can. And in fact, this speech encompasses everything basically that has been wrong with Meghan Markle since the beginning of the year, things I have talked about forever about her that are continuing, I think, to spiral her into a place where she's going to erode again and again and again whatever credibility she has left. So we are going to get into this today, guys. But if you haven't been to Royal News Network before, hello, my name is Brittany. I provide compelling royal commentary, so please hit that subscribe button. I would absolutely love to have you back. We will be doing a lot for Invictus and other things. Like there's so many ideas. There's so many things going on, guys. I also have a fashion channel if you want to check it out, Royal Fashion News. I'm going to do a video on the Greek royal wedding that we just had recently. Haven't done it yet, but going to work on that. We also have, of course, I'm going to do a second video, I think, on Meghan's more manic behavior that we saw at the opening ceremony. So, guys, please hit that subscribe button. And I did want to remind you guys again about Ana Lucia Diamond. I'm wearing the new hoops that I got from them that are super fantastic and amazing because Valentine's Day is coming up. Using code ROYAL20, which will save you 20%, you can get a free ring, this ring right here. So if you guys want to check that out, feel free to click on the link up above. Again, if you use my code for anything, you get 20% off. So you don't have to get the ring, but it is free if you spend over $300. And of course, Valentine's Day is coming up. So you definitely want to make sure you send your hubby a little hint if he's not aware of it already. It is Friday, in case you need some time. It's Friday, and this deal ends Friday. So guys, feel free to check it out. They are amazing and lovely and have been absolutely wonderful to this channel. Okay, guys. Oh, let's get into it. This speech was insane. It was so incredibly bad and cringy and so fake, so contrived, so everything that's been wrong with Meghan Markle's public reputation now for a while. What really happened in January is with the wildfires, pretty much everyone caught on to the fact that they're sort of fake. They're going through and doing these disaster tours. Why? What can they offer? I mean, they did a disaster tour and the best Meghan could offer was a lousy t-shirt to a girl. Now, it was nice what Meghan did in her little Instagram video, but at the same time, there's something just that is not working for her and she's not adjusting. She has to adjust. She's missing that authenticity chip. And you see it just in her behavior. She's smiling so hard. We've seen her smile different ways. She's smiling so hard. It's getting to the manic level. I noticed that when they went to, I can't remember, was the Venice bungalows or something bungalows there over, and it was like a really rainy night. It was like an hour and a half from their home, and they drove all the way over there to these bungalows, and people in California don't generally drive in the rain. So it was really weird that they did that, but it was right after they got kicked out of Frogmore Cottage. And then Meghan was walking in grinning as hard as she can because she's really trying to sell it. She needs to sell the love. She needs to sell the success. But that's not really working anymore. But this is just, I feel like, another level. I don't like it when people generally lie. I mean, there are some lies, like, for example, national security issues that you may have to lie about. I understand that. But I feel like Meghan spins tall tales. She exaggerates to try to tell a story. Even aspects of the story, I know a lot of people think it's entirely fake. Her Instagram video story I think part of it is definitely real, but it's also embellished. She needs to start dealing with the truth because when she goes outside of that, she's saying things that don't make sense or could easily be, well, you're wrong there because we know because we've seen your actions. Meghan just seems to not understand that her actions will always speak louder than words. So let's go ahead and get into this video. So guys, we are going to be sharing this from Twitter because what I like about the system I use to record my videos is that I can get sound by usually pulling videos directly into the feed. So I think that'll work here. This is from obviously Harry_Meghan_Archie_Lilibet Instagram because for some reason they have massive fans and I don't quite get it. So let's go ahead and listen to the utter fakeness that is Meghan Markle. And again, I would advise her if I was her PR person, the number one thing she needs to work on right now is trying to be authentic. Stop trying to fake things. Stop trying to do all these sorts of things that make you in your mind seem relatable because actually what it does is make me think you're fake. So let's go ahead and listen to this.
Well, hello, you. Hi, everybody. How are we feeling?
Great.
So, number one, what I kind of noticed is that the cheering is there, but it's like, not super enthusiastic. And then also as well, it's sort of awkward. Hi, like she's sort of awkward here.
I was not planning on speaking tonight, and we just arrived, I don't know, a couple hours ago, and I touched Canadian soil, and I went, oh, feels like home.
Okay, that's a lie. I'm sorry, but that really feels like a lie to me. No, that's just my theory. But the reason it does is because you don't live in Canada anymore. You made the decision to leave when you could have lived there in Vancouver. And she cited, oh, the paparazzi. But then you went to the paparazzi Mecca, which is Los Angeles. You can't say that. It makes no sense. And she's so exaggerating. Feels like home. And not to mention, you filmed in Toronto. You did not film in Vancouver. I mean, I'm just guessing, Canadians. You tell me. I believe Toronto and Vancouver are in two different areas. I believe they are in two separate areas of the country. And so for her to say it feels like home seems bizarre. It seems absolutely bizarre and fake to me. I would imagine I would actually not have an issue with it if she was arriving in Toronto, but she's in Vancouver, a place she didn't really live. She lived for like 5 seconds on the way to California, which is where she always wanted to be. If she was going to an event in California, she could say that. She can't really say that here and have it be authentic. It sounds utterly and completely fake. Sounds so fake. And her thing of, oh, I didn't expect to get the mic tonight. Of course she did. Of course she did. Like, what else would it be? Is weird about Invictus is this constant need to sort of group Harry and Meghan together as a couple, to have her be such a big part. She doesn't need to be there. She doesn't really offer anything. She offers nothing to this. She's not really helping Invictus in any way. So this is all very weird.
We are so excited. We also recognize most of you are probably so exhausted from how much travel you've done, how much adrenaline you have pumping, how excited you are for what is going to be one of the most outstanding, memorable, unforgettable.
So this is sort of interesting because she's like, you're so exhausted, yet you're also so excited, and you have so much adrenaline. It's kind of like, those are sort of contradictory.
And connected weeks probably for you and for your families. We are just thrilled to be here, and I would be remiss if I didn't take the opportunity to introduce someone.
So this is sort of, again, a little weird. You know, talking about family. You two don't have a relationship with your family. They need to stop talking about family. Stop talking about it. You don't have a relationship with yours. So when you talk about something being a family, it doesn't make sense because you guys have none through your own decisions. Through your own decisions, you have thrown away your family. And so this group of people, I'm sorry, they're not your family. And those group of people, yes, they are close, but your family should be your actual family. I know this is sort of a strange notion because, you know, you got friends and, you know, your friends become your family or whatever. But I do truly think that your family is your family. And so you should have respect and deference to them. Harry and Meghan have none.
Who means a lot to me.
Meghan, that stuff is so cringy. That stuff is so cringy. It means so much to me. I mean, we all know she's talking about Harry, but she could actually be kind of funny if she's talking about somebody different. That would actually be more funny. But she is trying so hard and like long pause and stuff. She did that with archetypes too. It was so annoying.
And I know means quite a lot to all of you. You will see him throughout this week. You will see him at the games. You will see him probably curling with you, cheering you on.
Oh gosh, that's so bad. I'm sorry. That's so bad. She's so over
the games. You will see him probably curling with you, cheering you on.
Oh gosh, she's so bad. Yeah, she wants to be there for the attention. She doesn't really want to be there.
He'll be cheering you on at wheelchair basketball. He'll be going down that, what is that? Is it the luge? Oh my gosh, you guys, the thing.
Okay, that is the fakest thing I've ever seen. Oh, yeah, fake. It's so fake. It's so unbelievably fake. Fake. And you notice what this is all about? It's all about them. It's becoming the Harry and Meghan games, not the Invictus games. Does she give two craps about any of the competitors? Why do they focus so much on Harry? The guy just stands there. Yes, he is their leader, you could say, but the competitors are the ones who should be being lifted up, but they're not. They're not. And because of that, the Invictus Games undermines itself every single time it goes on because it becomes about them. You can't name any of the competitors. What are the countries? You don't know. Why? Because it's all about them. They cloud every single bit of news that gets out about the Invictus Games. Nobody cares about any of it because it's all about them. It's all about them.
Thing that I will never do, my husband will probably do 3 times because he wants to be there with you. He is in it with you.
Well, she could try doing something too, That would be impressive, but she doesn't want to because she doesn't really want to do any of this. She's not a sporty person. I don't think she cares about this at all, really. But again, it's all about, oh, my husband, my husband, my husband. What about the competitors? What about the other husbands in the room? The ones that have had truly difficult times in their marriage because of injuries and stuff. Does she care about them? No. Could she mention any of them? No. Can she name any of them? No. She probably can't name any of them.
And you'll see him through all of those moments. He'll be there with you. What you won't have seen.
So Harry will be there with you. I'll be watching you. That's the thing. It's like he'll be there with you the entire time. So I'm sorry. I mean, it's nice, but what about the people who have actually been with these competitors every single day, seen the struggles, seen the setbacks, the triumphs, all those sorts of things? He hasn't been there with them. You need to be uplifting other people. Stop uplifting yourselves. It's selfish. And it goes to show that she's so fake in her attendance here. It's not to help the competitors. It's there to help them. And that's despicable to me.
Is all of the moments that have happened in the lead up to these games. All of the moments where.
Okay. And then in these big pauses, she's getting ready to tell the story that she's probably practiced a couple times in her head, at least before going on stage.
And as you know, with families, the big rush in the morning and getting ready for school and packing the lunch boxes and making breakfast and
So Meghan, number one, I thought you didn't know what a lunchbox was. You kind of joked about it. Oh, lunchboxes. Is that a thing? I'm so old. So watch this a little bit.
Is that a thing? The lunchbox thing? I don't know. This is when I feel really old.
So she's contradicting a video that she put out earlier this week. But the other thing is, I don't believe a word of that. I don't believe there's a flurry in the morning of them getting their kids out to school. I think they have nannies to help them do that. They never mention their nannies, but they have to have nannies. There's no way they don't have nannies. Or her mom's helping them, or her cousin, or something. There's somebody else there with them. They're not in a 12,000 square foot house all by them, 16,000, whatever it is, square foot house by themselves, getting their kids ready in the morning. I don't believe that for a second. I don't believe that. So this whole thing about being a big rush, I'm sorry, I think it's nonsense. I think you totally made that up because that's what they do. That's not what you do. And you're not brave enough to say, yeah, we have nannies. What's wrong with having a nanny? A lot of people do. It's just so ridiculous, fake, and contrived. It's so ridiculous, fake, and contrived. And she thinks we believe it because other people do, I guess. But yeah, I don't believe you, Meghan Markle. I don't believe you at all.
My husband's in all of that with us. And then he'll be on his phone and Archie will say, Papa, why are you on your phone? He's like, because it's Invictus.
That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. Again, this sounds idiotic. It makes no sense. It doesn't exist. It doesn't exist. Oh my gosh. This type of thing, I hate this sort of fakery. It's so dumb. It's so see-through. It's so transparent. But yet they still continue to do it. They still do it. They do it all the time. And I'm just like, stop doing this to yourselves. I don't feel it. Not to mention the fact that when it comes to Invictus, most of the other people are doing the hard work. And we've had numerous articles this year which has told us essentially that Harry is dumb. So is he making a lot of big decisions, you could say? Probably not. Is he getting clued in on a couple of things? Sure. But are other people running the show? Yes. Other people are running the show. But no, it's all about Harry. Harry's a figurehead. That's essentially what he is. And yes, he, I think, is passionate about it. But at the same time, he lets the whole thing be hijacked by this nonsense. And he is himself now getting into more of the idea that this is the Harry games. These games will die. If you care about the veterans, you need to get out of the way because these games will die if we have to keep relying on Harry and Meghan to sell them. They will. They won't survive. 100% they will not survive if Harry and Meghan are there to sell them the entire time. Why they probably didn't choose the United States for the next Invictus games is that they were worried that if Donald Trump won, he would axe it. He would say, no, I'm not putting a government dime into this. And they desperately need huge, massive infusions of cash to put this on because it's grown way beyond what it naturally was able to. They've extended it so far beyond. Like, think about it. This game's, at least from the government perspective, at least $30 million have been given to it. I don't know how many other millions of dollars more has been donated by sponsors and various things. They had to rent the arena, so much. For, get this, 550 competitors. 550. That's nothing. Think about the size of the United States military, Australia, Canada. These are microscopic numbers in the grand scheme of things. This is not universally popular. Do people like it? Yes. Do people find it helpful? Yes. But is this something people should be shooking hundreds of millions of dollars into? No. Or tens of millions, I guess I should say. No, this is not something that people should be doing that for. It's just not going to recoup the cost. And everything at some point has a bandwidth. At some point, people are going to stop indulging this. It is a tax write-off, so you will get companies who go in on it. But the reality is at some point, somebody's going to say, no, we don't have the money for this. We don't have the time for this. We don't have different things. And Invictus is trying to go, I think, bigger and bigger and bigger every year. And that's not really helpful to the competitors. If they really cared about the competitors, they would try to grow organically instead of trying to metastasize the thing into something unwieldy. Because I believe it was for Orlando, they only had about 500 competitors or maybe a little under that. So they've gained 50 more and are spending probably tens of millions more than they ever did originally. That's not sustainable. There's a reason why Jaguar and Land Rover was like, no, we're not doing this anymore. This is not sustainable. So if they cared, they would adjust, but they're not. And Harry, of course, I think is deluded. I think he truly believes in the delusion of this. He's sort of said and implied in things that he thinks Invictus is right for everyone and it can save everyone. I'm sorry, Harry, this is not the fix for everyone. Not everybody wants to do this. Not everybody's that interested in this. This works for some people, yes. But time has shown that the vast majority of other people have other ways of coping. Some of it good, some of it bad. But I just think this is overwrought.
I'm getting ready for Invictus. It means so much to him. You are his family.
Yeah, because he abandoned his own. You are his family because he abandoned his own. So think about that. Do you really want to be Prince Harry's family? Because he'll abandon you once it's convenient or once it becomes difficult for him. That's what's bad about saying stupid things like that. It's also fake. You're not his family. His family is in the United Kingdom. They're not there in that room. Yeah, well, some people might be from the UK are, but these people are not his family. His family is on another continent. They're not really in contact with him because he dragged them through the mud. That is not a compliment to tell people that you're like family to them when he's treated his family as crappily as he has. That's not a good thing.
just as we are his family. And I
Just as we are his family, you are his family. That's dumb. It's fake. It's fake. We know it's fake. They're not his family. And he probably knows to a certain extent, like he's close to them. He loves it. He feels a great camaraderie, but his family.
hope you recognize how much of his heart he has poured into every single beat that has gotten all of you.
Every single beat. Like, you can tell she's practiced this because she had to talk about the beat and everything. This is so fake.
To this week that is going to be spectacular.
But it's all about he's worked so hard for you. He is so great. He, me. I mean, think about sitting there in the crowd. Would you have any idea if Harry did anything? She's very vague in what she's telling. She's detailed in the fact that he's running around getting stuff ready in the morning. But she's very vague in saying, what are they talking about? A good counterexample to this, one that would be actually what I would suggest is like have an actual story of a time where Harry and the Invictus Games had a challenge to getting this game set up and share that story, what he did on the side. Because it's not, I don't think, necessarily terrible to say he was instrumental in getting this together since he sort of was. But at the same time, I'm thinking, why didn't he do more? Like, again, that's a question. That's a question they can't answer. And this is why this is so bad.
I need you to know that. I need you to know how much it means to him and how much each of you means to him.
But could she say any of their names? Probably not. It means so much to him. What about these competitors? What about these competitors? And how does it mean that much to Harry? Yeah, he goes and he gets the publicity for it, but he increasingly looks like he doesn't care to.
So it is my entire pleasure and complete honor to introduce to the stage my husband.
She goes on and then talks about the kids. If you don't want people to focus on the kids, stop talking about the kids.
The father of our very sweet, excited children who are cheering you on from California.
But are too precious to cheer you on actually in person. Again, the way Meghan and Harry treat their family is different than what they treat Invictus. So they won't bring the kids to interact with anyone or to participate in any of the competition. Oh, no. They can't. It's too much of a risk. So do they really care? Do they really care? I would argue no. And that's why it's so fake. It's so fake.
Prince Harry, founder of the Invictus Games, the Duke of Sussex.
And that she has to use the title. It's even on their place cards. I really wish people would stop calling them. And they're so obsessed with it that they keep having to call themselves the Duke and Duchess of Sussex. Stand on your own laurels. They can't stand on themselves. They have to use titles of an institution they publicly trashed to get a modicum of respect. Like, come on. And of course, she has to kiss him. So we do have another angle of that kiss. So check this out. All right, guys, I just find, the kisses need to end. She did it again at the concert, although he kind of leaned in first, but I'm sure that's part of the routine by now. But the fakery of the public displays of affection get to me because you guys are on professional time right now. This is not a date. You guys are working. You need to act like you're working. That's my personal thought on this. But I just feel like you listen to that and it's like, is there an authentic bone in this woman's body? Does she know what authenticity is? She's so fake and contrived. And you just almost want to tell her, you might have a better time, maybe, if you tried being a bit more natural. If you tried being a bit more, I don't know, less Meghan Markle-y, just tried to be actual Rachel. Maybe that's a different, she could rebrand herself actually by going by Rachel, believe it or not. So I just feel like this whole thing reeks to high heaven. And I just don't know where the Invictus Games goes at some point because she's definitely turning it into the Harry Games. He's definitely turning it into the Harry and Meghan games. And this is not going to end well for anyone because at some point, you guys will get, someone will stop saying, yeah, we're going to get this thing money, especially if it doesn't turn a profit. At some point, it has to make money itself. Yes, it's a nonprofit, but if it's not sustainable, unless you get massive infusions of cash from the hosting country, you got a big problem on your hands. So we will see how the Invictus Games goes. I'll try to do another video here before too long on the bit of the mania that is Meghan Markle. She's starting to panic a bit, I think. It's showing. So guys, let me know what you think. Thank you so much for watching, and I shall see you soon. Bye.